welcome to Hecate's Crossing. How are you? So today with the Hocus Pocus Tarot and the Seasons of the Witch, I'm doing the Samhain Oracle. Okay, so this is just an example, just to show you some of the cards, so you've got an idea of what I'll be using. Now, depending on your question to what I give you in regards to how I'm going to lay out the cards, the messages, all that sort of stuff comes into play. So thinking about your question or what, so I'm just going to give you an example of some of the readings that I'll do in regards to that situation. So it may not be exact, and of course this reading won't resonate with everybody, but it's just going to give you an idea of how I read. If you haven't had a reading from me before, if you're very new to Hecate's Crossing and you just want to sort of have a look at how my style of reading or anything like that, this is going to give you an idea of that. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's take a nice deep breath and let's think about our daily life. What do we need to know right now that's really important? What's really important for us as a collective? This is a collective reading. Normally I would just do an individual, so I'd do a reading directly for you depending on your question, your thoughts, your subject matter or whatever. But this is a bit of a sort of a general, very sort of a very general reading. It's going to be quite symbolic in some cases, may not be absolutely literal, but let's see some of the cards that have popped out already. So let's lay the cards out here. And so this is just going to be a very small sample. You may get a few more cards depending on what you need in regards to the reading. So okay, so let's have a look here. Okay, so what we're going to look at first is the heart of the situation that's going on. Okay, so we've got 4 cards here in the centre. So we've got the first thing is about your inner strength. Inner strength is going to be very important here. Having the courage to do what you need to do. That's the real heart of what's important for you right now. It's all about some things that need to be final. There are some things that need to end, that do need to be final, so that you're able to move forward. So using your inner power, your inner strength, your courage, your stamina, endurance, to be able to make things final. And that can be quite hard mentally. Okay, so maybe you have to do some meditation, you have to do some sense of reflection, contemplation, some, I do feel like there's some learning in a way. It does feel like there is that sense of wanting a light at the end of the tunnel, but it doesn't seem to sort of, you need to maybe go into silence to sort of get your answers, to be able to make those things final. Maybe making those things final is going to feel like you're isolated from the rest of the world and everything that's going on. So that could be quite hard for you right now. So here you've got this, again with the 4 of potions, you've got this need to sort of inwardly, emotionally sort of isolate yourself. Maybe you're not quite seeing the bigger picture with what's going on. So there's quite a lot going on there when you think about that, with you having to use your strength and power to end things, to make things final. And so making things final may feel like you're going into isolation. So that might be a bit scary for you right now. That need to sort of take care of yourself, sort of emotionally sort of feel like you're isolated from the rest of the world. So you're not quite seeing the bigger picture, your head's down, you're not quite seeing what's going on around you. Okay, so the other 3 cards we've got 4 of pumpkins, so we need to look at what we're actually holding on to. We need to look at what we're holding on to, and in that case we might need to have that sense of really being organized, I want to say. Being organized, maybe needing to take care of our own well-being is going to be very important here. We need to look at what we're holding on to. So what are we actually holding on to at this time? We need to, and so in that case, that we really need to sort of nurture our well-being. And in nurturing our well-being, we have that sense of not giving up. Don't give up in achieving what we want to achieve, being able to let things go, be able to make things final. Oh, I'm getting a lot of throat stuff, so I don't know if that's part of it. A lot of communication needed in this case. Okay, so we do have this sense of making some wise decisions, some choices. We do have a lot of choices, a lot of options available to us. And just because something seems shiny doesn't necessarily mean it's the right thing. And so we have that sense of, I want to say standing in our own power, taking back what we feel has been taken from us. That's quite a big thing for us here, because it is going to make things a little bit wobbly. We are going to shake things up a little bit, but I do feel like it's going to give us the chance to actually rebuild what we desire. Are we able to rebuild what we truly want in our life? Okay, so let's have a look here. These cards up the top. So what do we actually get? The last 4 cards here. Okay, so it's very much about being in control. When we're able to actually take control, maybe be the leader, maybe we have a sense of, I just got the words inflated ego. Be careful about inflated ego in this situation as well. That's unusual. I don't normally get those words in that, but that inflated ego came up for some reason. So just be aware you might be dealing with someone who's got an inflated ego, or just be aware of you, making sure you don't have your own inflated ego. So it's all about that breakthrough, that understanding, to be able to make the decisions, the sense of, you might find yourself at a bit of a crossroads, and so you've got to make a decision on which path you're going to take, and that's part of having that breakthrough, that understanding of which path you're actually going to take here. And so with that comes, I do feel like you could be offered a business opportunity. There could be a business opportunity that you're offered there. Okay, so this is a very quick, very short example. I mean, I could go into a lot more detail with the cards and things like that, but depending on what your question is and what's going on in your life. So let's have a look. And this is just a very quick reading, just to sort of show you the example of the cards and what I would be using. Definitely. So it's very important that you stay protected. Okay, you do need to make sure that you stay protected. You do need to make sure that you protect yourself. Yeah, I do get a sense that there could be someone who tries to cause a little bit of trouble, and that could be part of you having to take back what's been taken from you. So I think that's quite important, to feel like you have, I'm just going to do one more card here. So you've got that sense of taking back. Do be careful of someone who may not be, it's very important to sort of harvest what you want, to find that sacredness, growing and developing as you gather what's important to you. I do feel like there's a sense of gathering an inner strength. Again, you get that sense of gathering what's important to you, gathering the information, the inner strength, the courage to be able to move forward there. Make sure you stay protected from anyone who's causing a little bit of trouble. Maybe you feel like they've taken something from you, and so you've got to stand in your own power. So yeah, just a really quick look at what the cards I would be using, depending on your question to what I do. I mean, a lot more cards could come out in the reading. I may include an extra deck, depending on I think I could also include the Pagan Lenormand in a 9-card reading as well, and as part of that process. So yeah, I do feel like I could just include a little bit extra, depending on what you decide you actually want, or anything like that. So I could do including the Pagan Lenormand as well, so I may include that as an extra, just so that you can see what I'm talking about. So yeah, I do feel like I could just include a little bit extra, depending on what you decide you actually want, or anything like that. So I could do including the Pagan Lenormand as well, so I may include that as an extra, just so that you can see what I'm talking about. So yeah, I do feel like I could just include a little bit extra, depending on what you decide you actually want, or anything like that. So I could do including the Pagan Lenormand as well, so I may include that as an extra, just so that you are aware of that possibility that I could use the pagan linen mud in regards to this reading as well. Okay, so that's it from me. Don't forget to check the links down below, check the links on my channel, like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care. Blessed be.